All right. Sexless marriage. Does getting older guarantee a sexless marriage? It's really an individual thing because what we do know statistically is that from age 60 on up, 47% of relationships are sexless. But what that doesn't do is talk about the why. Why are they sexless? Are you in poor health? Are you physically unable? Or, like a lot of men, did you stop focusing on growing intimacy and connection? And are you, quite honestly, the cause of your own sexless marriage? And I get a lot of nice guys whine about, why do I have to do everything? You have the honor of running the romance department. And I had a man at a retreat I was at. We were driving to a destination for something we were going to do, and he wanted to talk about sex. And so for 45 minutes in the car ride, we had this amazing conversation. And then as we were winding up the retreat, we had a kind of a go round. What are you grateful for? And he talked about that conversation, and he said, the coolest part is we never talked about sex. We talked about growing intimacy and connection, which leads to a great sex life. Now, men, I'm here to tell you, as your woman goes through perimenopause and menopause, her body's going to change. Very common for a woman to have vaginal dryness. So lube is your best friend, okay? And there can be about 28 different days and variations for a woman a month. What turned her on and got her wet and excited could do the same thing 14 days later, except she's not wet, but she is excited. So you have to learn this, you have to understand this. And if you grow connection and intimacy and learn how to talk about these things with your partner, you can make adjustments as needed. Now, why is this topic near and dear to my heart? I turned 60 the other day, okay? And I'm not ever going to be in a sexless relationship. I made that very clear before I married my wife, and her response to that comment was, and neither am I, which I loved, okay? So, it is not a sentence to a sexless life just because you're getting older. There's two things, again, we do. We stop focusing on connection and intimacy, and if we don't take care of ourselves, if you are a man who is in his 50s or 60s and look like you're pregnant, you're part of the problem, okay? So you've got to really rethink, what do you want out of life? You know, in a previous marriage, I had a long sexless dry spell following some major surgery on my wife. Never ever did I think, oh, we've been this long without sex. That wasn't by choice, but it also wasn't due to lack of interest. It was due to a medical condition. Never once did it bother me or did I get upset over it. The reality is, age is just a number, men. And if you want to have a vibrant and fulfilling sex life until the day you die, you have to focus on connection and intimacy. You have to take care of yourself and be in good health. You've got to do all the things needed. And then you need to make adjustments as you both age to what you may or may not be able to do, or maybe you need to use lube all the time, regardless. Maybe, there's all sorts of little things. So, one, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Two, keep in mind, you get to control this. And if you both are happy at being sexless, that's great. But usually the problem is one person decides they're okay with it being sexless, and that's not okay. One person doesn't get to doom another person to a life of no sex. and you have to work on yourself. And I help men work through this all the time. And again, there's about a 50% success rate. I have a 100% success rate of men being happy, but you got to just figure out what works for you. All right, guys. Contact information is down below if you'd like to talk. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button. And we'll see you next time. And have fun and enjoy and have a great sex life. You deserve it.